tell us about Project Nanda.
So this decentralization, agentic concepts very nicely map us to this Project Nanda. Nanda stands for Networked AI Agents in Decentralized Architecture, but it's also the name of my sister. And Nanda means joy in Sanskrit. So I think let's bring some joy to the technology and the internet and the web of AI agents.
What does Project Nanda do?
So Project Nanda is a large collective where we're looking at these three phases, how the agentic world is going to evolve. The foundations, agentic commerce, and agentic societies, and involves multiple universities, multiple companies, and we're all working together to figure out how this web of agents will evolve. The same way Tim Berners-Lee launched World Wide Web Consortium, also at MIT, to see how we can use the internet technologies in a responsible way and keep the flock together. And so one should thank Tim Berners-Lee for keeping it an open, vibrant, and neutral web that's out there, as opposed to what we saw later on in the computing, generation, which is things like social media or things like mobile phones, are highly fragmented systems, and a few companies control, these ecosystems, as opposed to the World Wide Web. Today, you can go online, go to GoDaddy.com, create a website, launch a business, create new innovations, do whatever you want. And that permissionless nature of the World Wide Web has really created an unlocked, not just, trillions of dollars of economic value, but I would say scientific progress, new democracies, new societies. I mean, it has really changed the way we think about it. We should also think about what would happen in the absence of Project Nanda. It's possible that there'll be only two agent stores, just like we have App Store and Play Store. There'll be just two agent store. And anything you create in AI and agents, every one of us will have to go through these two platforms. And they won't be talking to each other. And those platforms will say, we use the tool. We will tell you which AI to use. We will tell you what you can do and cannot do. And by the way, any money you make from that, we'll take 30% of it.
So the analogy here is like Apple Store and Google Play.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And imagine if the World Wide Web wasn't open and vibrant. Imagine there are only two websites you can use to create an online business. One called Squarespace and one is called Wix. And there are only two companies, and any website you create must be created one of those two platforms. They will give you all the tools. They will do all the transactions for you. They will disclose which websites are better than others or not. And by the way, any money you make on the web, you have to share 30% with Squarespace or Wix. That would happen in a pretty dystopian world. There's a chance that the agentic web could also end up in this highly fragmented, highly dystopian world. And the goal for Nanda is to kind of make sure we have the freedom, we have the agency, and we have ability to do this in an open and vibrant and neutral way. So all the organizations that emerged in the World Wide Web, such as World Wide Web Consortium, the DNS, ICANN, which actually allows you to have the domain name servers, Mozilla, all these great organizations, we have to do all that work again in the next 6 months. If we don't do it, we'll end up in this highly dystopian world where somebody else is controlling all the AI and all the AI agents.
So out of curiosity, when we're in this future world where we've created this species that runs parallel to us, all these AI agents running around at much faster speeds than us, just out of curiosity, what do you think the internet/World Wide Web is going to look like for us? Will people still go and look up websites, or instead will there be another version of websites that my AI agent can go and buy me a shirt and not have to look and scroll in the way that we do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that have been developed online have been for kind of human consumption and human interaction. And it's kind of a clunky, the fact that the whole world interacts with the internet with your fingers on a keyboard. It's kind of strange if you think about it. And so clearly, the web of the future will be multimodal. We can talk to each other. We'll have, I'll have, an AI agent just talking in my ear, almost like the movie Her, right? So you can imagine the world becoming much more human again. as opposed to forcing us to interact through this keyboard. So that's kind of the possibility of human interaction, and we'll have other technologies going along with that, like VR and AR and new material science and new technologies. I think all that will be part of it, and then that's kind of at the human, at the individual level. But at a structural level, at a systemic level, you can imagine all these agents are doing great work, behind the scenes. It's making sure, our health is taken care of, my finances is taken care of. I mean, think about there are millions of people who are not financially savvy, and they have to proactively go and check online or with their financial advisor about what they should do. But imagine if there's an agent who's helping them in their financial decisions. Think about education. There are billions of people out there who don't get good quality education. And people often talk about how AI is going to improve education, but agents are going to have much more an impact because they can be highly personalized and they can really understand the context. And to use that AI, you don't have to make an API call to somebody in California. You could be using it on your own device. You can be modifying it. And so I think, and we'll be treating our agents almost like Tamagotchi. Remember those toys from Japan?
Oh, yeah.
We'll be kind of...
Wait, just as a reminder to the listeners, it's you have to pet them or take care of them, right? And then they stay alive. And if you don't...
These are very addictive toys that are popular in the 80s and 90s from Japan, which you have to constantly kind of nurture them and feed them and pet them, and they stay alive, although these are purely digital characters. And agents are going to be something like that. We really care about nurturing them. And my guess is that we'll spend like 1/3 of our life every day just making our agents better and teaching them and coaching them and talking to them. And these agents will be such a significant part of our life, our health, our education, our social life, our livelihoods, and so on, that we are very kind of attached to our agents, hopefully in a positive way. So it will not only make kind of a daily interaction more human, because we're not constantly looking at the screens and computers all the time. At the same time, these agents will be doing things beyond, kind of behind the scenes, and make it again a more democratic world. Kind of reduce the friction between people who have information and people who don't have information. Or people have a good Rolodex or they don't. So all this information asymmetry, power asymmetry could be addressed if everybody's empowered with their own agent.
Okay, so that gives us a really good sense of what this near future world is going to look like. It may be that the World Wide Web, which we've grown so used to, and that seemed like the future, it may be that that's already becoming the past in a sense.
It builds on top of each other. I wouldn't say it's the past.
Agreed. But the idea of tapping keyboard for a particular website or going to Google and doing a search and then flipping through all these different websites, that seems like that's already changing.
It may not be. I think, our agents will be more like our pets or maybe a baby we are raising. It'll be much more interactive, much more fun. I mean, we'll still need computers to do like very information-heavy aspects of our life. But rest of the day, we won't be writing emails. We won't be kind of scrolling through to see which restaurant you want to go to, or we won't be. Doctors won't be sitting in front of their EHR records to decide how they should help their patients, and financial folks will not be spending time in front of huge spreadsheets. A lot of those things will be happening behind the scenes. We still need spreadsheets, and we still have to go to the raw, source of truth. But most of the time, you'll have this agents as your companions.
Quick question: is there a way for listeners to see what Project Nanda is up to?
Yeah, you can. You can go create your own agent, David, in 30 seconds. And we'll post a link in the video. Go to join39.org, join39.org. You can create your own agent in 30 seconds. It'll be live online. Anybody else can interact with your agent. If you want, you can attach more information to it. You can also start making money from it. Right now, we're just using point system because it's a research. So you can make points. So for example, there could be, a David agent and you're a fancy neuroscientist. So you could say, hey, if you want to talk to my agent, I'm going to charge you, $1 a minute. At the same time, when you go to use somebody else's agent, maybe it costs you 10 cents a minute, right? And so on. So you can go on join39.org, which is kind of an open website, to start playing with your agents, create your profiles, start make money off it, send links to others, and so on. So it's kind of early days, but yeah, definitely you can go to projectnanda.org. which is the main website, which has all the technology, all the source code, all the research papers, all our industry partners, university partners working together. So you can look at all of that, or you can just go to join39.org and get started.